Hey guys, happy Memorial Day! And if you guys had the day off today, that's great. If you guys didn't have the day off, well, I hope you still had a good day anyway. So, in sort of honor of Memorial Day, I thought I would do another Cher's Book Club. And I just want to get the record straight because a comment on one of my videos got a little salty that what I did was not exactly a book review. I wouldn't call these videos book reviews, I would call them impressions of these books that I've read, because obviously I don't really want to go into extensive detail of what makes a good book or a not good book. They're just my opinions on what my reading experience was. It's not going to be a full distinguished detail on, I don't know, what the themes are or anything like that, because personally, when it comes to the enjoyability of certain books, whether they're fiction or non-fiction or stuff like that, I couldn't care less. So for this book I want to talk about, I actually wanted to do a video on this before I went on vacation to California, but I could not do that because I was busy, so I'm doing it now. And this book is called The Dog I Loved by Susan Wilson. And already, if it talks about dogs, it's bound to be sad. Well, it is kind of sad, but I'm not gonna add it to the list of cliches that the dog is dead, because that's kind of really not the case for this book. So to give a little overview on what the book is about, there is a woman named Rose who has been in jail for a couple of years because she quote-unquote murdered her boyfriend, even though it was hinted out that it was a complete and total accident. And they don't really explain what happened till the very end of the book, so of course I'm not gonna spoil that for people who want to read it. But actually, I won this book in another Goodreads giveaway, and if you want to see my Goodreads, it's in the description box below. So, as it states right here, the book won't exactly be on sale till November of this year. So, I won this copy in a giveaway, and usually these giveaways, if the book is not going to be released until later, is to basically read it and give people an idea of, you know, the enjoyability or any critiques that they have on this book. So, to continue with the summary, while Rose is in jail, she actually decides that she will volunteer for a program where they help train dogs to become support dogs, which actually I've seen this on TV. It's a legit program where inmates actually help train dogs to be either emotional support dogs or any other type of support dog, or just train these dogs to be adopted into kind, loving homes. So for the case of Rose, she helped train a dog who will end up be adopted by a friend that Rose makes. Her name is Megan. She was actually a war vet, and then she became wheelchair bound because she got, let's just say she went in, well, not actually went into, like, she was exploded while fighting, and she basically lost all ability to walk. So, like I said, she has to be bound to a wheelchair, but Rose actually trains the dog that Megan would end up taking in as her support dog, who is named Shark, which I think for Megan is kind of badass. So, of course, Rose's sentence is complete, and I think she even gets out early, like on good behavior, so she ends up moving to the same town that Megan lives in so she can live the rest of her life in peace. Because of course, Rose was supposed to be in jail longer, but I think because she volunteered in this program, it proved that she was on good behavior. They decided to let her out. And, of course, while she's trying to live in peace in this town, Rose, of course, adopts a dog herself, but it's because she adopts this dog that memories of what happened to her and her boyfriend start to arise. And like I said, it would be major spoilers if I talk about that in this video, which I do not want to do, because especially on sale in November. The book's not even out yet. I don't want to ruin anything, especially for Miss Wilson right here, because she worked hard on this book, and I can tell. However, I'm not going to say that this book is not complete, because it has a beginning, it has a middle, and has an end. Like, it tells a full story from point A to point B. But I feel like the editing could be worked on just a little bit more, because from what I can understand, this whole book has a couple points of views, which Rose has a point of view because, well, she's the main character, of course, and the story is more about her above all else. But then it goes into Megan's point of view sometimes, which shows, like, how Megan was a soldier, and she got injured in battle, like, that sort of thing, and it shows her relationship with Shark, which is, of course, really nice, but it also has in point of views of Shark, Megan's dog, and Rose's dog, Shadow. Because Shadow was a stray who ended up at Rose's house, because, of course, if the dog keeps showing up there anyway, Rose might as well take it in. How do I explain this? First, when it goes into, Rose's point of view, let me show you an example. Yeah, this is like part 1, first chapter of part 1. You can obviously see that, it's in first person. Like, Rosie's part is in first person, and I'm like, oh, okay, fine, that's fair. Like, a lot of stories are in first person, I don't mind it. However, let me try to find it. Okay, this is Megan's first chapter, but Megan's chapter is in third person, or it might still be in first person, but it's in Rosie's point of view still, which I got a little confused because I'm like, why would the first person narrator talk about another character's life going into very deep detail if it's not in Rosie's point of view? And then, you get, let me try to find something. Like, this is one of the dog's point of view, which these chapters are extremely short. But I think the chapters with the dogs add some poetry to the story, and it adds to a new point of view that we usually don't see that often because it's a dog. The dog sees the world differently. And I found these, like I said, they're poetic, and I like how these are written, even if they're, like, very short. And found one of Shadow's, again, pretty short. They have one for Shark and one for Shadow, too. But then here's my first kind of small problem, or maybe not small, but just a problem with this book. If you're going to put Rosie and Megan as the main characters of the story, why not just make both of them first person or both of them just third person? Because I feel like if you put Rosie's in first person but then Megan's in third person, it makes Rosie more important as a character regardless, and Megan's just pushed to the wayside and only just comes to the story when it's convenient. Or better yet, the story could have been all written in Rosie's point of view and just have only, like, Shadow the dog be the dog character that we get the most poetic from. Because most of the dog chapters that we do get are from Shark, and of course Shark is Megan's dog, and we often see the world through his eyes at times, and like I said, I like these chapters. They're kind of a bit of a breath of fresh air and all. But the problem is, because it's mostly Rosie's story, I felt like if we wanted to focus on just Rosie, then just do it. And maybe only keep Shadow's chapters in there, because if it's only on her relationship with dogs, that would make a lot more sense, and just put in Megan as a side character. Because as much as I like Megan as a character, I don't think she was fleshed out enough, because she keeps getting overshadowed by Rosie's story. Like, I wasn't really interested in Megan's part of the story because it's not really spotlighted as much, which I think is kind of sad. And like I said, of the story, because it's mostly Rosie's, I think if the whole plot was mostly, like, I don't know, Rosie's recovery from why she was sent to jail in the first place, I think it would have been a lot more enjoyable. Like, you see Rosie, like, meeting these new people in town, like, how she still works with dogs, I would have liked to see. Which I think as soon as she gets out of jail, that really doesn't happen, which I'm like, okay, you worked with dogs in the jail, but you still don't work with them? I don't know how that makes sense. I just feel like sometimes this book could, like, jumps from place to place, because, like I said, then you have Megan's story, which is about, like, recuperating into society after the war, and she kind of has a love interest, but she's trying to push him away because, you know, she's that type of person. Like I said, if the author wanted Rosie and Megan to be the main characters, both of these characters have to be developed, and their stories have to be developed equally. Just not spotlight on just the one, and then make Megan to be like this, I don't know, sorry sop story because she got injured in war. I really don't know what to say about that. It just annoys me a little bit that you add this character in there because the author probably wanted to make it over 300 pages in order to make this into a novel. So, at the end of the day, I did like this book, and I think I would read it again, and I would recommend it to people if they're really interested in stories about how animals change people's lives, because I would call this a slice of life, but more of an inspirational type of novel, because, hey, it's called The Dog I Loved, and this story is, of course, inspired by having a dog, or if you had a dog at some point, and of course, if you're dog people, then you're definitely gonna like this book, regardless of what content is in it. Anyway, that's pretty much that, and in case you guys are wondering, yeah, I kinda chose to do this book today because one person was a soldier in the army. It's not exactly what Memorial Day represented, but I didn't know exactly what else to do. So, if you guys enjoyed this little video or liked it, then you can hit the like button somewhere down below if you guys wanted to start a conversation about this book by the time this book comes out, or if you guys also want it in the giveaway, you can put the comments down in the comment section below. Also, if you guys liked this video, I do have a bunch more on my channel, so don't forget to check those out, and don't forget to subscribe for more content. I'm Cait, and it's been real. Ciao!